Hello friends, welcome back. This is Blessed Prince here. Now we are doing in continuation of the GUI, and this is going to be part 3. Now in my previous video we have discussed on how to create this window, and we handled a button and handled an action. Even when I click on the button we said welcome Ajay. Now in this video what I wanted to create two radio buttons, okay, where I mentioned male and female. Now based on the selection I wanted to say add salutation with his name, maybe Mr. or Mrs. Okay, so now for this what I'm going to do, I will create a checkbox first and I will demonstrate with the checkbox, and I will mention the problem there, and then we will continue with creating radio button. So I'll continue with our project. I'll close this window. I'll continue with our project. Okay, now so as I said, I'm going to create two checkboxes. Okay, so now in order to create that, you can use the class checkbox, and I'm going to create a reference comma cb1, and we are going to deal with two checkboxes. I've created two references of checkboxes. Okay, now I need to instantiate these checkbox references. So here I can choose to do that. I will say cb1 equal to new checkbox. Okay, and here you can find the constructors. You can provide the label, and another constructor where you can provide the label and you can provide the status true or false. True means it will be checked automatically. Now as of now I am going to work either of these three constructors. Okay, so if I choose, I'll choose with this so that I can provide only this label. By default it is not selected. Okay, so the first one is done. I will create the another object, instantiate the second one. I'll say new checkbox, and same way I will choose this one and I will say female. Now this is done. Okay, so we have created this two checkbox objects. Now this should be added to my frame window, where I will add after this, after entering my name. Now before I could press submit button, here I will add to my window. I will say to my frame with the help of add method. I will say add with cb1, and to the frame dot with add method I will say cb2. So I have added this both checkboxes to my window. Now when I click on the item, maybe with checkbox 1, that is male, or with the checkbox 2 if I press on this female, whenever I try to select any of this, now I should be notified. So meaning an item event is generated. So these checkboxes should be registered to listen to that item event, as we have done with our window. Same way we have done with our button. Now same way now our checkboxes should be registered to listen to that event. Now whenever you click on a checkbox, an item event is generated. So I will say my checkbox is registered to listen to an item listener. Okay, item listener of this. So I'll say the same thing with here with the second button, and I will say this. Now meaning this class must have implemented item listener. So I will follow this saying item listener. Okay, now if I implement item listener, I am supposed to implement all the methods available with that item listener. I can say implement all abstract methods. When you come here, now this is what implemented. So that is item state changed, meaning whenever I click on, I select or deselect an item, a checkbox, now the item state changed method is called, and it will pass that item event. Now here what I need to do, I need to decide the salutation based on what I choose. When I choose male, I need to set my salutation as Mr. If I check female, I need to set the salutation of that particular person as female. Okay, or as Miss or Mrs. Okay, no, let's not have confusion there. Let's say MS. Okay, now to do that, I will create a string variable saying salutation. Okay, salutation. So how I'm going to decide the salutation? Okay, so now I will get my from here I'll get the item, I'll get the object when my when that item is selected. It will generate an item event. With that item event object, I am going to get the item, it will return that object. I'm going to compare if that return object is dot equals, let me say male. Okay, male, then I'm going to set my salutation. Okay, now here one more. Okay, set my salutation as Mr. Okay, fine, Mr. Else, else I'm going to set my salutation as MS. So, okay, so I have done this. I've done this. Okay, and same way, when I click on the button, I need to say welcome. Okay, welcome plus this salutation. Okay, plus leave a space plus the name of the person. Okay, so now let's try to run this. Now name, let me say Ajay. Now let me choose mail, submit. So it says welcome Mr. Ajay. Now see, I try to change the name. Okay, let me say some Priya, and now I said female. That's good. I submitted. It says Miss Priya, but see, I can choose both. So this should not be the situation. Okay, so checkboxes always allow you to select multiple items. Now in this specific example, we should have not allowed this app to choose multiple items. So it should not be a checkbox. Instead, it should be a radio button, so that I will allow only one item to be selected among a group. So now these two now belong, it should belong to a group, and from this group I should allow either male to be selected or female to be selected. Okay, so how can I do that? So to do make it behave it like a radio button, so what I am supposed to do, you can create something called checkbox group. Okay, can create a checkbox group. Let me say CBG is a reference variable, and as we are doing, so CBG, you instantiate new checkbox group. Okay, I've instantiated that, and in my checkbox, okay, I've instantiated this here. I instantiated this checkbox group here. When I create my checkbox here, I can choose an option. If you wanted to by default be selected, you can say true. I'm using this constructor. Okay, I'll make note of it. I'm using this constructor. Okay, label, that is male, comma boolean state, I've said true, meaning it will be selected automatically. Then I can provide the checkbox group name. The checkbox group name is going to be CBG. Okay, this is our name of the group, CBG. Same way, now here I will say false, and I can say CBG belongs to this group. Okay, here also I can choose to make it false, doesn't matter. Now both is not selected, you can choose any of this. So I have added this to this checkbox group. Okay, so nothing else need to be done. I have created a checkbox group object, and I have made this checkbox belong to that group. Okay, now it should act as a radio button. Okay, let me run this. Yeah, here you can see I can choose either of this only. Okay, now I will say Mr. Ajay, I will choose mail, then submit, so that it said welcome Mr. Ajay. Okay, now I'll not be able to choose both of this, on either of this thing I can choose. So in this particular session, we discussed on how to create a checkbox, how to create a radio button, and how to handle an item event. Okay, when an item event is happening. I hope you have got this. God bless you. Take care. See you in next video.